Alright guys, it's time to break down the brand new DLC trailer for WWE 2K14 as we start out with Fandango and Summer Rae, whose entrance comes complete with the entrance prop shown in the background, and Fandango is sporting his WrestleMania 29 attire from his match with Chris Jericho. Jake the Snake Roberts is up next as he carries his bag with his snake inside down to ringside, with the 30 years of WrestleMania Trons kind of spoiling the entrance for me, but judging by the create an entrance screenshot that was previously released, hopefully we can turn these off. The Stars and Total Divas make their way to the ring next as we get to see the Bella Twins, who returned too late to make the main roster but they are included as part of DLC pack number 2. Then comes the WWE Hall of Famer Bruno Sammartino, who's been rumoured for the game since April after he announced that he'd signed a deal to appear in a video game. And alongside Bruno, we'll also have another name who is rumoured for the game for quite a long time, Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig, who is in the main roster but only as a manager, so this NWO version of him is a great addition. Alongside Perfect is the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, whose inclusion comes at a good time with his recent appearances on TV. It's just a shame that there's no Goldust this year to complete the Rhodes family stable. Next comes Ravishing Rick Rude with his pink Intercontinental Championship attire from his match with the Ultimate Warrior, and then there's this surprise addition, Virgil, who makes his WWE Games debut. Next we get a first look at the NWO stable with the Superstars available in DLC pack number 1 with Scott Hall, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, The Giant and Syxx who make their way down to ringside in a scene taken from Story Designer. Staying with Hall and Nash, we'll have a first look at these two in their Outsiders attires, which is only available when purchasing the Season Pass, similar to DDP in Goldust last year. Jumping back to the present day, and we'll have this awesome looking Big E Langston, whose entrance even includes the lifting chalk coming off his hands as he claps them together. Switching to Superstar heads, and we see some of the new content included in the creation pack, with new Superstar heads included for Alberto Del Rio, Antonio Cesaro, Batista, Dolph Ziggler, Goldberg, Mankind, Ryback, Sheamus and The Miz, with alternate heads also available for CM Punk, who has long hair, a less hairy Daniel Bryan, Kane without a mask, Triple H with short hair and The Undertaker with long hair. So these new heads should give creators plenty of options for creating attires like CM Punk's debut or Straight Edge Society attires, or even just updating current stars like Cesaro to have his We the People attire. Switching to the new moves pack, and we see Ryback performing what I think is the shoulder switch power slam, Punk applying the Koji clutch and AJ locking in the Black Widow before we switch to Summer Rae in a wrestling attire from NXT as she lays out Caitlyn. Then we switch to Rick Rude taking on Jake Roberts as he hits the Rude Awakening before one of the Bellas face plants AJ face first into the mat with a Bella Buster. Switching back to the two Legends DLC, Dusty Rhodes drops a big elbow on Bruno Sammartino, while Jake Roberts takes out Rick Rude with his trusty DDT. Continuing the finisher clips, we see Virgil applying the $1 Million Dream to Ted DiBiase, and Scott Hall hitting the Outsider's Edge to Steve Austin, before we get a better look at Macho Man's NWO attire as he delivers a double axe handle smash to Bret Hart, and Kevin Nash takes out Goldberg with a jackknife powerbomb. Big E then delivers the big ending to Ziggler before we see what looks to be a secondary attire for Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig as he delivers the Perfect Plex to Ric Flair. Fellow NWO member Scott Steiner then takes out Rey Mysterio with the Steiner recliner before Bruno Sammartino squeezes the life out of Dusty Rhodes with a bear hug, leading to Fandango, who is one of my favourite DLC additions this year, hitting his big leg drop on Santino Marella. Back to the Divas, and another one, the Bella Twins, takes out Oksana, who has her black see-through attire with red underneath from a render picture, before Syxx rides Ric Flair with a Bronco Buster, the Giant takes out Kevin Nash with a big chokeslam, and we end the trailer with Fandango and Summer Rae in the ring with Fandango's pyro lit up above them. So there you have it, that's the DLC trailer breakdown, and we now know that we'll have a Mr. Perfect attire for Curt Hennig, along with a bunch of new Superstar heads to play with, although we'll have to wait till January for those, but it's a great addition. It's just a shame that it didn't add Kofi in there to allow us to update his attire. Apart from that, I'm pretty pleased with the DLC. I know we didn't get RVD or Curtis Axel, which is a shame, or even Primo and Epico, but they'd have been outdated anyway now that the wrestling has lost matadors, but I'm pretty happy with the list, especially the fact that there's so many NWO stars in there, as it should make for an awesome universe mode. So let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to check out 2K's 30 Years of WrestleMania livestream, which takes place at 8 PM BST today, so I'll put a link to that video in the description and a list of time zones along with all the DLC details, and I'll catch you later for a recap of tonight's livestream.